Tonight, millions are facing a 1-2 punch of winter weather. New reports that active duty paratroopers could be heading to Minneapolis as ICE protests there continue. And Europe answers back on the president's plan to take over Greenland. Tonight, winter's fury. More than 50 million Americans are dealing with snow, this time as far south as the Florida Panhandle, and icy roads in Georgia. Hundreds of flight delays. All of this followed by bitter cold with freezing temperatures and sub-zero wind chills. Our weather team is tracking it all. Minneapolis on edge. Defense officials tell ABC News up to 1,500 Army paratroopers are on alert for possible deployment to Minnesota. The Minneapolis mayor calls federal agents an occupying force. This follows weeks of ICE arrests and street protests. Business owners tell us some workers are too frightened to show up for work. European leaders hold an emergency meeting on Greenland. What they're saying about President Trump's plan to make it part of the U.S. as he threatens new tariffs on countries that oppose it. The sudden end to a wild police chase through multiple states. A murder suspect is finally taken into custody. Shocking new details from law enforcement in the arrest of actor KIEFER Sutherland. An Uber driver claims he was allegedly punched repeatedly and that Sutherland allegedly tried to choke him. Prince Harry heads back to Britain and back to court. Why he's suing another tabloid publisher. A new record for Venus Williams, now the oldest woman to ever play singles at the Australian Open, 28 years after her debut down under. Triumph and heartbreak in the NFL playoffs as some teams move on and others move out. And it's the game of their lives on the eve of college football's national championship. One couple's 40-year love affair with each other and Indiana football.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lindsay Davis. Thanks so much for joining us. Europe is preparing a response to President Trump's play for Greenland, and millions of Americans are bracing for a double dose of wintry weather, snow followed by an Arctic blast in the east. Earlier today, that same system was responsible for this rare sight in Florida, snow. That snow is now targeting the I-95 corridor, including New York, Philadelphia, and parts of New England. And as you just watched, football fans brave chilly temperatures and at times heavy snow in the playoff matchup between the New England Patriots and Houston Texans. We'll have more on that game later. One storm stretches from the mid-Atlantic to the northeast and the other across the Midwest, wreaking havoc for those hitting the roads and skies over the long and busy holiday weekend. More than 400 flight cancellations and nearly 4,000 delays. We have team coverage tonight. Our weather team is standing by with the forecast, but ABC's Morgan Norwood leads us off tonight.
Tonight, a winter 1-2 punch putting 50 million Americans on alert as back-to-back storm systems sweep from the Midwest to the East Coast. In upstate New York, the blustering winds hurling blinding snow, making it tough to navigate. Freezing rain pelting this Long Island highway. Snow falling all day, turning to slush on the roads of northern New Jersey. Inches already on the ground in eastern Pennsylvania. Neighborhoods quickly disappearing under a fresh coat of snow. The weather even impacting game day.
I know that field's going to be slippery out there today.
In New England, the Patriots and Texans before the game preparing for a snowy showdown. In Chicago, Rams fans braving feels like temperatures near 10 below as they face the Bears.
As we get closer to the game time, that's when we have some snow showers that start to develop.
The wintry weather reaching as far south as Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. The Sun Belt getting a rare taste of winter. Snow falling along Interstate 10 in Fort Walton Beach. Flurries falling over Pensacola, a sight seldom seen in this part of the country.
And Lindsay, you can see the snow still falling here in New York City. Freezing temperatures expected overnight, which of course raises the concern for black ice. All of this winter weather also causing air travel delays, cancellations, at least 4,500 delays from coast to coast, Lindsay.
Significant ripple effect there. Morgan, thank you. Let's get right to meteorologist Jeff Smith from our New York station WABC. And Jeff, I know you're also tracking an Arctic blast. What's it looking like out there?
I'm feeling it out here. We have the snow falling in New York City. That's from the storm that moved up the coast that caused the snowfall all the way down to the Florida Panhandle. So we have winter weather advisories up and down the I-95 corridor. It could be 1 to 3 inches of snow. Philadelphia, New York City, and interior parts of New England, maybe more than that over coastal New England. Winter storm warnings in effect off of the Great Lakes. 1 to 2 feet of snow Monday through Wednesday off of especially Erie and Ontario. Even a blizzard warning western parts of Minnesota. Not so much because of falling snow, but more because of blowing snow, reducing visibility down to near zero. So we tracked the storm exiting New York City by around midnight tonight, heading up into southeastern parts of New England. Here comes that clipper moving in from the Midwest. And with that, not even the lake effect snow, 1 to 3 inches from that system. And then behind it, the Arctic blast sending wind chills down below zero, places like Minneapolis and Chicago into the beginning of the week. Lindsay?
Winter whiplash, Jeff. Thank you. Minneapolis is on edge tonight. The Pentagon is putting 1,500 troops on standby, and the FBI is reportedly asking agents across the country to volunteer for temporary duty in that city. This comes after days of protests following a fatal shooting of Renee Good by an ICE agent. ABC's Matt Rivers is back on the scene in Minneapolis.
Tonight, 1,500 active duty soldiers, 2 battalions of Army paratroopers on alert, ready for possible deployment to Minneapolis.
ICE out now!
After more than 10 days of protests throughout the city over the deadly shooting of 37-year-old mother of 3 Renee Good by an ICE officer. Defense officials telling ABC News that President Trump has not made a final decision on whether to deploy them, but they are taking, quote, prudent steps to prepare. The FBI now reportedly asking agents across the country to volunteer to travel to Minneapolis for temporary duty. The exact assignment unclear. Tensions mounting in the city.
Go Nazis!
As the administration continues to insist that ICE officer Jonathan Ross's shooting of Renee Good was justified and no further review of his actions are warranted.
We are not investigating, and if there comes a time when we need to, we will, but it's not now.
Sources telling ABC News the federal investigation is focused less on the shooter, Ross, and more on Good, her conduct, and possible ties to activist groups. Also facing scrutiny, the city and state's top Democratic leaders, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Under investigation, sources say, for allegedly obstructing law enforcement activities in the state. Frey telling ABC News that he and Walz have done nothing wrong, but suspects they are being targeted for speaking out against the administration and calling for ICE to leave the city.
There are other countries where you get put away for the things that you say. There are other countries where you get investigated for saying something that runs counter to what the federal government states. But in this country, it's not that way.
Meanwhile, residents and business owners feeling the impact of ICE operations.
What have the last 2 weeks been like for you as a business owner?
It's horrible. It's horrible.
Larry Rinaldo owns the Northeast Moose, a Minneapolis staple. His bottom line is hurting, and some employees are too scared to come to work. All politics aside, he says, he just wants things back to normal.
Everybody's scared. I mean, not just, the people that are scared of immigration status, but everybody's scared.
Now, Lindsay, the White House has not yet responded to repeated inquiries from ABC News about the potential for a military deployment. A Pentagon spokesperson saying only, quote, the Department of War is always prepared to execute the orders of the commander-in-chief if called upon. Lindsay?
Matt, thank you. Now to the dispute over Greenland. Today, the European Union held an emergency meeting in response to President Trump threatening new tariffs on 8 countries until the U.S. reaches a deal to buy the Arctic territory. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selina Wang.
Tonight, European ambassadors holding an emergency meeting over President Trump's latest threat against America's closest allies. Trump says 8 NATO allies will face tariffs starting February 1st, and until a deal is reached for the U.S. to acquire Greenland. Those countries have sent small groups of military forces to the Arctic territory in support of NATO ally Denmark, which has long controlled Greenland. European leaders outraged. Sweden says they will not be blackmailed. France says no intimidation nor threat will influence us. For months now, Trump refusing to back down from his campaign to control Greenland, refusing to rule out the use of military force.
If he wants to purchase Greenland, that's one thing, but for him to militarily invade would turn Article 5 of NATO on its very head and, in essence, put us at war with NATO itself.
The Trump administration insists the U.S. must control Greenland for national security.
If there were an attack on Greenland from Russia, from some other area, we would get dragged in. So better now, peace through strength, make it part of the United States, and there will not be a conflict.
But many experts and lawmakers say there's no immediate threat.
According to our intelligence, we haven't had a Chinese warship in Greenland for a decade or so.
The U.S. already operates a military base in Greenland with a long-standing treaty that allows the U.S. to expand its military presence on the island.
The only security threat to Greenland right now is the United States.
And Lindsay, tonight the president of the European Council announced he's convening an extraordinary meeting in the coming days with European leaders in light of recent developments over Greenland, a sign of just how seriously our allies are taking the president's threats. Lindsay?
Selina Wang from the White House, thank you. Overseas now to breaking news, a deadly train derailment in southern Spain. A high-speed train jumped the tracks in the opposite direction and slammed into an oncoming train. At least 21 people are dead and dozens of others injured, some seriously. Emergency services are on the scene. No word just yet on what caused the crash. Now to the tensions between the U.S. and Iran. President Trump is now calling for new leadership in that country after weeks of a bloody crackdown on protesters. The death toll is reportedly soaring into the thousands. ABC's chief foreign correspondent Ian Pannell joins us now. Good evening, Ian.
Yeah, Lindsay, the war of words between Iran's leaders and President Trump escalating today, with the Pentagon expected to send more military assets to the region. Iranian President Pezeshkian posting a warning to the U.S. that, quote, any aggression against the supreme leader is tantamount to all-out war. On Saturday, Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei accusing President Trump of being the main culprit for the killings in Iran that activists say has now surpassed 3,300. President Trump responding, saying it's time to look for new leadership in Iran. Despite this rhetoric, it appears that the likelihood of military action has diminished for now, and after 3 long bloody weeks of repression, the protest movement seems to have stopped. Lindsay?
Ian, thank you. And overseas to a ceasefire deal between the Syrian government and Kurdish-led forces. It comes after weeks of deadly clashes in Syria, seizing major territories from the Kurds. The U.S. was caught in the middle and pushed for a peace deal. The Kurds have long been strong allies of the U.S. in the fight against ISIS. But the U.S. also supports the Syrian government since the brutal dictatorship of Bashar al-Assad came to an end. Back here in the U.S., we have new details tonight in the arrest of actor KIEFER Sutherland. An Uber driver told law enforcement that the star of 24 and designated survivor allegedly punched him several times and then tried to choke him. The latest now from ABC's Melissa Adon.
Tonight, new allegations emerging after actor KIEFER Sutherland was arrested in Hollywood last week following an alleged altercation with the rideshare driver. Law enforcement sources tell ABC News an Uber driver told police Sutherland punched him multiple times and tried to choke him. During the ride, police tell TMZ Sutherland repeatedly asked the driver to pull over and let him out before allegedly threatening to kill him if he did not stop the car. According to ABC News sources, the Uber driver got out of the car and called 911 while allegedly running away from Sutherland. According to sources, witnesses say Sutherland appeared to be under the influence.
Fairfax, particular male, white, 5'10", black or dark blue jacket.
The LAPD says the driver did not require medical treatment.
You don't know me.
The 59-year-old actor, known for his role in 24, Designated Survivor, and A Few Good Men, was arrested for allegedly making a criminal threat and was released on a $50,000 bail. ABC News has reached out to Sutherland's representatives, but has not heard back. Lindsay, Sutherland has not been charged. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office may charge him in the coming weeks ahead of his scheduled court appearance on February 2nd. Lindsay?
Melissa, thank you. Now to that thrilling NFL playoff matchup between the New England Patriots and Houston Texans. The Patriots fighting through the flurries in Foxborough to victory. Let's get right to ESPN's Joe Buck and Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. Troy and Joe, you all had a front row seat to that epic defensive showdown.
All right, Lindsay, thank you very much. Well, we are at a snowy Gillette Stadium. What a game we just witnessed. I'm not sure what we just witnessed. We see 8 turnovers in a playoff game, but in the end, it's the New England Patriots and young Drake May moving on to the AFC Champ game.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. You know, you come into a season, you've got a new head coach in Mike Vrabel who won some championships here with the New England Patriots as a player, and a second-year quarterback in Drake May, and not a lot of people had high expectations coming off a 4-win season a year ago. They spend a lot of money in free agency. They upgrade the roster. They draft well. And then they get on this win streak where they start to gain some confidence. And it's taken them now all the way to the AFC Championship game. This was an electric crowd here at Gillette Stadium today.
10 seconds. Denver Broncos, they don't have Bo Nix. They have Jarrett Stidham at quarterback. You expect him to play well?
I do. I think Sean Payton is too good of a play caller and a coordinator that he's going to put Jarrett Stidham in a great position to have success.
That's the matchup in the AFC Championship game. The New England Patriots from the game today against the Denver Broncos out in Denver. Lindsay, back to you.
From Foxborough to the Final Four. All right, Joe and Troy, thanks so much. And there's so much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, including the hunt for the person who shot and killed a college student as he drove back to school, and why Prince Harry is heading back to Britain and back to court. Next tonight, the search continues for a gunman in a deadly shooting at a historic New Orleans restaurant. Police say that gunman shot and killed a person inside Dookie Chase's on Friday night. 3 other people were also shot. The restaurant is a fixture in the city's Tremaine neighborhood. Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama each dined there while in office. A murder suspect is in custody in New Hampshire after a wild multi-state chase. Police say the suspect crashed into a tree Saturday in Dunbarton, and a SWAT team arrested him after a standoff. 55-year-old Dane Burke was wanted for allegedly killing his girlfriend in Maine. Acting on a tip, officers in Massachusetts say they pursued Burke for nearly 60 miles before the chase ended in New Hampshire. And reward money is up to $10,000 for information in the shooting death of a college student in Tennessee. 20-year-old Andre Bell was shot and killed last Sunday while driving with friends back to FISK University in Nashville. Bell was a member of the school's basketball team. His friends believe the shot came from a dark sedan that sped away from the scene. And when we come back, how Venus Williams made history at the Australian Open. To the index now, Prince Harry is expected to return to Britain this week to once again testify against a tabloid publisher. Harry and celebrities, including Elton John and actress Elizabeth Hurley, are suing the publisher of the Daily Mail, accusing the paper of using unlawful means to gather information on them. Associated Newspapers denies any wrongdoing. Harry has reached settlements with 2 other tabloids that face similar accusations. Today, Venus Williams became the oldest woman to play singles at the Australian Open. Now 45 years old, Williams was playing in that tournament for the 22nd time, but she did lose a tough 3-set match to Olga Danilovic, who was born 3 years after Williams made her Australian debut in 1998. And today we learned that legendary animator Roger Allers has died. He worked on numerous projects at Walt Disney Feature Animations, but he was best known for co-directing The Lion King in 1994. In a statement, Disney CEO Bob Iger called Allers a creative visionary and said his work continues to inspire audiences around the world. Roger Allers was 76 years old. And when we come back, the national championship game, some die-hard football fans have waited decades for this moment. Finally tonight, some love stories are written in letters, others are written in touchdowns, field goals, and fall Saturdays. For Bridget and Mark Rogers, Indiana University football isn't just a pastime. It's stitched their lives together, dating back to when they were both students at IU.
We met in 1985. I had just finished my junior year of playing at IU.
And here's the kicker. Literally.
This is the kicking shoe I wore my senior year.
We were engaged in the parking lot of the football field.
Right outside the stadium. I played my senior year, and I think Bridget was able to attend all of my games home and away that year. That started our journey together.
The Rogers have followed the Hoosiers with unwavering loyalty, introducing their daughters to Hoosiers football from a young age.
We basically raised our girls in the bleachers.
Their commitment to the Crimson and Cream pride is on display at some of the more than 200 games they've attended over the years. From college sweethearts to seasoned fans, this week Bridget and Mark are packing their bags heading to Miami, bound for the ball game where IU will play in the College Football Playoff National Championship. For them, it's more than a game. It's a full circle moment.
We've loved the highs and we've persevered through the lows, and that's true of our marriage and our football team.
Indiana, we're all for you.
Before boarding the plane, Mark and Bridget sent us this message.
I have waited my whole life for this.
It's more than we could ask or imagine. Bring the trophy home.
Who's that? Who's that?
You can watch Indiana take on Miami tomorrow night on ESPN. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.